Hello, Leo, you there?
I am. How's it going?
Sorry, I don't know what the connection was. Had a problem. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Where do you live?
I live by Vancouver, Canada, BC.
Okay,
An
nice.
hour outside Vancouver, basically.
An hour outside of Vancouver. So I'm
Yeah.
assuming north,
I guess it's east.
east. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. And you like hockey, apparently.
Yeah, I like hockey. Yeah. I played for 10 years, so yeah, not professionally, just rec hockey.
Okay. Yeah, my brothers were into hockey. I never got into hockey. Played a few times and when you can get ice time at 2 o'clock in the morning, I say, yeah, that's not for me.
Yeah, I started when I was older. So I started when I was 30 years old. So it's something I didn't do as a kid, but yeah, it's one of the few things I really enjoyed in life. So yeah, I played for I think 10 to 12 years I played for. So yeah.
Okay. And do you still play today?
No, I quit probably when I was 42. I'm 57 now, so
Okay.
quite a
Do you
while
play
ago.
any sports?
No, I don't. I do exercise though. I have a bike in my a spin bike in my I don't know, in my apartment here, and I do exercise somewhat. So yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. You should try pickleball. I picked that up about a month ago.
Yeah, yeah.
And met some great people so far. It's great exercise and challenging. My main sport is beach volleyball, and we start our indoor court volleyball in a week or so. But I find, pickleball, I can walk to the courts. It takes me an hour to drive to the beach to play. And
Yeah.
you need to wait for people. People are already there. It's a great community. So try it out. Fastest growing sport in the world, I heard.
Yeah, I do have pickleball rackets in my vehicle, and I just haven't really played. I was going to play with my granddaughter, but it was a busy summer, so I do have them.
Okay, good.
So whereabouts do you live, Leo?
Mississauga, outskirts of Toronto,
All right,
suburb of Toronto, I should say.
right.
And what do you do for a living, Dan?
I work as a longshoreman.
A longshoreman. You sound like a
Yes.
novelist now.
Well, I've written a book, but
Have
I
you?
work as a longshoreman. I like on the ships, like on
Okay. Like
with
cargo
cranes and
ships?
yeah, containers. Well, I work on a dock, but yeah, I'd say a dock worker if that explains it easier.
Okay, got it. Did you ever work on a ship?
Well, our job is on and off ships, so it depends on what job we do. So
Okay,
I
but you're
don't go
not
with
going out to sea.
yeah, I don't go with them.
Okay.
We basically handle other people's cargo. So whatever's coming off, we handle, and we put cargo on, and then we also put stuff on, like rail cars and trucks. So yeah,
Well, so rail cars go on the ship.
no. What I mean is
Oh,
that
the containers go on the ship.
containers come off the dock, and other cargo come off the dock, and we put it on the rail cars and ship it out, or else we truck it out on trucks. So all over the country, right, and actually many parts of the states as well. So
Okay,
yeah,
got it. How
yeah.
did we meet? Was it on TikTok or?
Yeah, it's on TikTok. I think you're doing a great job. I just sort of compliment you because you seem like a genuinely nice person. So, uh, with nothing else to gain from just giving advice. So I like that. I thought it was great. So
Yeah.
that's how we met.
I, you know, I think if I didn't have the mentors that I had when I was 12 years old, I think my life would have gone in a different direction. So, um, I think it's a shame that most people don't reach out. People just live by default and they don't do any planning. They never consider designing their future, which I think is kind of sad. I remember going on the subway at rush hour, and when you look at faces at rush hour, these are not happy people, right? So, and I think that's sad because we only have one life to live. So,
Well, I agree with you there. But like I have children and I have grandkids,
mm,
and I think the most important part when you have kids is surrounding them with positive influences as they grow up. And
Absolutely.
hopefully that'll rub off because kids get information from everywhere, right? So,
Hmm.
I mean, you're talking about mentors as you're growing up. It makes all the difference in the world. And people are always looking for that direction, hopefully. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, at least I'm trying to open their eyes that there's better opportunities out there. So,
Yeah. Well, I've been a longshoreman for 40 years this
well,
year, unfortunately. But I've always tried different things. I've always explored different things. Like I've owned like a marketing business when I was like 20, which
okay.
didn't go anywhere because I'm uneducated. Um, but I keep trying, right? I owned a pizza franchise as well.
Nice.
Uh,
I love
yeah,
pizza. I
yeah,
would be a
nice.
great customer.
Yeah, I went bankrupt in 6 months.
Oh,
It might have been 8 months, but in there somewhere. Um, what else? I've owned most stocks. I lost a lot of money with that too.
what about crypto?
No, no, never
No.
that. Well, I owned stocks in 2008, actually, when just before the bust, and I thought it was, all I needed was one more little uptick, and I was doing really good. I was going to cash out. Unfortunately, the dive happened, and I went with it. Unfortunately, but you
Mm,
know how I looked at it is that I've been at my job for a long, long time. There's no way I can know everything about let's say anything, like everything. So at that time, I depended on someone else to give me advice as far as stocks go. So I followed their advice for, I guess, pretty much, I'd say seriously about 5 6 years, and I was doing fine. But then when it came to the bust, their famous saying was, keep your hand on the tiller, everything's going to be fine. But then I lost about $789,000. So I mean, it didn't work out. So I just sold what I had left, which wasn't much. Like I think it was like 119,000 bucks, and then it's decided I'm going to go into real estate. So then um, I was quite cautious. So I did a couple small deals, but I joined a local real estate group called REAG. I don't know if you've heard of Ozzie Jurek. Um,
no.
he's yeah, very, very big, very, very big, lots of tons of money. But anyway, it's a group led by him and Ralph Case. They have probably, I don't know how many thousand followers, but you go to meetings every month and they're supposedly teach you real estate. But I found there was actually in 6 years there was no mentors. I didn't find one, not one. Most of them were looking for money to support their own endeavors and not help you out. So um, yeah, so I did. So anyway, I did do, and then I joined another real estate group, and basically the same thing there. But I did make a couple things, and I can't say I'm too bright because anyone who's bought or sold real estate in the last, let's say, 10 years, especially in BC, has made decent money. So, but the way I made the money to buy the real estate is actually smart. So I've done okay that way. Um, I cashed out in 2018, and now it's basically just doing nothing because I don't want to lose it. I don't consider that my money. I consider it my descendants' money, generational wealth. So I haven't done absolutely nothing with it because I have to put the time into find the best ways to look after it. So
Mm,
I've heard like S&P, like an index fund is probably the most secure and over time, blah, blah, blah. So, but I haven't actually looked into it. My focus, I don't know if you've looked at my stuff, but I wrote a book and it published in 2020. So that's taken up a lot of my focus. And um, within that, I've got to change my direction as far as that's concerned. So my book is on child sexual abuse,
oh.
basically prevention, awareness and prevention.
Yeah, I remember reading something about that.
Yeah. So I've
And,
lobbied
and by
the.
the way, the reason why I lost my LinkedIn account, I had 127,000 connections, and I started posting about human trafficking,
Oh yeah, yeah.
trying to get people aware of what's going on. And I don't understand how politicians can see a problem and ignore a problem. right?
Yeah.
And LinkedIn just wrote back and said, this goes against our community standards. And I go, how can this go against your community standards? So when they said, we have removed this post, I took a picture of that post and I published that. Oh, they didn't like that. And they immediately, 127,000 connections gone. 100% of my clients were coming in from LinkedIn. And
Yeah.
when you go from having all your clients to zero, it really hurt. It's costing me millions of dollars each year because of that.
Yeah, I've heard TikTok does the same thing, but you know, I've lobbied I've lobbied the governments or politicians for, well, basically 5 years now, and really I've had zero effect.
Mhm.
So now I'm gonna take a different strategy now because uh, which should be viable actually because I haven't. It's not for money, but um, instead of costing me money, it might make a tiny bit. Is actually putting the books into schools because actually when I wrote a lot of the politicians, because I've written every MLA in Canada, and I've sent every single one of them a copy of my book. I've done it twice, and it has bared no fruit at all.
Mm.
So my objective now is to work on this, the get my book into the schools directly because in the libraries and that. So and that's going to help me more than anything.
Actually,
And then
are you open to some advice?
well, 100%.
Okay. If I were in your shoes, you want to get this book out there, what I would do is I would create a series of TikTok videos of you reading different excerpts in the book itself. This is chapter number this, and this is what I wrote. And just read it passionately and say, if you want to know the rest, here's where you can find the book.
Yeah, you're 100% correct. I actually have thought of that. Um, I just have to like that's one thing that you do really good at is you're just always on TikTok, which is really good because I mean I have a YouTube channel, I have TikTok, I have Instagram, I have I guess it's called what X, but Twitter, and it's just a matter of I have to keep going with it. I have to post like every second day, and I think like you have a lot of videos because every time go to TikTok, you're on it. So I think I made you my friend too. So that's probably a reason why too. But
Okay.
yeah, I have to get. You're 100% correct. I have to get going on that 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way,
I,
I'm in TikTok jail. That's why I'm not posting 3 times a day.
are
So
you
I get
really?
into trouble a lot. Yeah.
Really? Why is that?
Because I tend to be overly aggressive and TikTok doesn't like that. At the beginning, I didn't know how to use TikTok. 3 weeks ago, I had 30 followers.
Yeah.
Literally 2.5 weeks or 3 weeks ago, I had 30 followers because I
Yeah.
didn't know how to use it. So I didn't know how to respond to messages. So I would copy and paste a message saying, follow me on Facebook so I can communicate with you because I didn't know how to communicate, right?
Right.
On TikTok. So apparently they didn't like that. So I'm in jail. And hopefully they don't close my account. I created a second account just in case, but so far I'm still able to post, but I can't answer. Um, I can't respond to
Mm,
messages on TikTok.
I see. That's why you've been doing it verbally, right?
Yes.
So I just listened to yours. Yeah, I just listened to as soon as I turned my phone on TikTok, you're there. So and you're responding to what was it now? I guess getting employees. I think it was
Okay.
looking. Makes a lot of. I got yeah yeah. I think you're looking someone looking for employees. Actually someone had a question. You're answering it verbally as your
Yes.
TikTok. Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I type like shit. I type with one finger. I don't know
yeah,
how to
yeah,
type. So I
yeah,
use
yeah.
voice dictation software, but the
Right,
voice dictation software on TikTok makes it crash.
right,
So which means I can't respond. So and I wish they knew that, but I don't think they care, right? I'm
right.
a small fish in their big pond and they don't care. So what is your goal? Is your goal to promote your book? Are you making money from the book?
Oh, I'm not making any. It's the whole objective. Like anything else, um, you'd probably prefer to make money, but in the same respect, it's just something that I'm passionate about. I want to raise awareness, just like
Okay,
human trafficking, raise
right.
awareness.
So
Like
this
I
is a
see,
hardcover book,
well, it's a soft cover book.
soft
It's
cover. So but it's a
it's
printed book.
it's on Amazon. It's here it is here.
Have you
It's
thought
on.
about creating a digital version of the book? If you're not looking to make money, it would be easier to have people share it if it was a digital book or an audio book.
Well, I've been exploring audiobooks right now. I've sent a couple messages away. I it's on Amazon. It's in Indigo chapters, physically in the West Coast here in some locations, but not all the locations physically. Um, I am it like I said, it is an ebook in a soft cover, hardcover. Just so happens I just don't. Maybe I didn't pay for the marketing package. I don't know. Just no one knows it's there. It's on a shelf, so no one knows
Right.
it's even there.
How many copies have you sold?
Well, I really couldn't tell you. I've given away way more copies than I've ever sold. I've probably sold probably a couple hundred copies,
Okay.
and I've given
So the
away
printing costs are costing more than you've made then. So this is a losing proposition so far.
100%. I've spent probably $65,000 so far. That's in making the book, writing, like everything so far. And I've probably made in royalties $600.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. But
Okay.
in the same respect, my objective, like I said, I have to pivot, and it's going to be putting in actually the schools, and that's where I'm going to make a little bit of money right there. Um, I think that's the only way it's going to raise awareness, because some schools, like in BC, they do have child sexual abuse prevention education. They're supposed to be teaching it in schools as part of the curriculum, even though they don't teach it. So my book will go well with that teaching, because it's somewhat educational as well, my book. Um, so I think that's going to be a good avenue to explore. I am actually searching out an audio book. I'm trying to do that now, but I got to hope. Like I don't. Trouble is, I can't learn everything all the time. It's difficult trying to learn that industry when I'm a longshoreman. So
Mhm.
now I'm trying to learn the printing industry. So
Yeah,
I got a
but
hold of
I
one.
think all you need is an actor. And by the way, on our CEO board, we have a voice actor, a female, who has a lot of followers. You could have somebody like her just read the book and create the digital format and share that digital format,
Yeah,
right? If you want to get the word out there, I think that's the quickest way to do that.
I think that's the easy part, Leo. Honestly, it's the other stuff that's difficult for me. Um, it's actually putting it on the platforms. It's because, yeah, it's putting it on the platform. It's the technical side of things. That's all there is to it.
Or what about just going directly to consumer, directly to the people it affects, the people that have kids?
What do you mean?
Well, um, this is child abuse prevention, correct?
That's correct,
And
100%.
who cares more about that than parents?
Parents, yeah.
So reach parents on TikTok, Facebook groups, do the podcast circuit, right? Just before I jumped on with you, I was doing a podcast with somebody else and we were cross promoting. So I think that's all you need to do. Ignore the schools. I mean, if you can get a deal with the schools, great. But I would go directly to the consumer. If you're trying to get the word out there, get directly to the parents, join Facebook groups, parental groups. There are many people on TikTok to give, parental advice, cross promote with them. Just get your name out there.
Yeah. Like it doesn't cost me much to make an audio book. I've already looked into it.
Okay.
But the company that I contacted, like in order to put it on platforms, they wanted 50% of royalties.
50.
So
Wow.
yeah, I know. So they wanted, that was just their deal. I can actually get it get them to produce it, get them to make it, and I can take it and go, or I can pay for it for them to produce it, and then to put it on all the platforms, they would take 50% of all royalties, which I'm not really happy with. So that doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
How
Um,
much just to produce it?
well, not very much, $2,000,
Okay.
2,500 bucks. Yeah,
I'm sure this lady who has followers, I mean, she has a great voice. She is an actor.
yeah.
I mean, this is I've never approached her, but I would be glad to talk to her and say, would you be willing to do it? I mean, it's not a very thick book. She might be able to do it in one afternoon. If she
But
charges you $500 or $1,000 or something, I think it might be worthwhile for both of you.
I honestly, well, getting it made is the easy part, Leo.
Okay.
It's the other part that is challenging. Like
Well,
like for
one of my
me,
videos has 3 million followers. You know that already, right?
yeah, I do. Yeah.
So if you can
Which one
reach
was
three,
it?
I was just talking about the most profitable business
Okay,
that you can
10
start.
10 most profitable businesses. Is that the
No,
one?
that was another one.
Okay.
No, I was basically talking about landscaping
Well, that's it.
maintenance.
Okay.
And that one has 3 million views, 2,500 comments,
Yeah.
2,200 shares and stuff like that. But all you need is something like that, right? To create a following. My goal is to get to 1 million followers. But you just keep working every day until you get to 1 million followers. Once you get 1 million followers, I mean, you'll be able to get that book in everybody's hands that should have it.
What are you using for your devices right now, Leo? Like for your recording? Just your cell phone or?
Yeah, just my phone.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, um, that's it. I mean, I don't even edit the videos. Everybody tells me I should be editing videos. Yeah, I should. But once I get out of TikTok jail, I have 500 YouTube videos that I'm going to edit and repurpose for TikTok. So that should be able to help grow my audience because I have a lot of content. So,
Right.
and I've been creating this content for the past 5 years or so.
Mm.
But all you need to do is create content for that will engage with parents, right?
Yeah. No, I'll do that for sure.
Yeah.
I just have to be consistent, Leo. I mean, I think, like I said, I think every time I turn my phone on, you actually come up right away. Maybe because you're my friend, but the algorithms as well. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I watch, right? So yeah. I mean, I honestly, I think you just come across as being an honest person, honest, genuine, authentic person, which is nice. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's great.
Um,
So
thank
what are
you
you
for
into
that.
now, Leo? Like, what are you doing right now? Like, it says you have like, what was it, 17 businesses or 19 businesses with other people you shared, that kind of thing?
Yeah, yeah. I'm a management consultant. I
19,
have been for the past 40 years. So I help
right,
people redesign their businesses to get to the next level, and I help people start businesses. That's what I do.
right.
So I'm just wondering how we can help you. Um,
Well, it's,
but my audience is not, I'm sure a lot of them have to be business or parents, but I don't know what percentage of them would be parents. But I think your best bet is probably Facebook groups. I manage 10 different Facebook groups. One has 500,000 members.
mm,
It's an entrepreneurial group. So,
yeah, well, parent groups is a big thing, especially for like mothers. Uh,
mhm,
it's huge. It's huge. My daughter belongs to a couple of them actually, and they're huge community Facebook parent groups. They are huge, definitely
yeah.
huge. I have a Facebook um, platform as well, not just the normal. Uh, it's like a Facebook. What do you call it? A web page, I guess you could say, for like, it's not really for a business, but it's for a, I don't know what they call it, but I have a Facebook account as well. So
Uh, 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 okay, a Facebook page or a business page.
yeah, basically
Okay.
for yeah.
Okay. So is that your biggest goal, is to get this book out there?
Yeah, like I'm gonna be I plan on retiring from my job in, well, probably less than 2 years, hopefully. I've been
Okay.
there long enough.
So you do believe in retirement. I've
Well,
retired
well,
4 times already. I don't
not
believe
really
in
that,
retirement.
Leo. I believe in
Okay.
just doing something actually I want to do, because that takes up my. I'm there because I've had to pay bills in the past, and like I said, I've done things all along my whole life. So, um, like for instance, when I was 20 years old, I worked at a different place. It was a telecommunications manufacturing plant. They made fiber optic cable. Anyways, there's another fellow there. His name was Dan Simpson, and we were talking, and he tells me, he says, you know, well, what I couldn't believe is that he was in the perfect spot in his life, and if he could stay there for the rest of his life, he would, because it was a union job. He had decent pay. He had a set schedule, and he's talking like this, and I'm looking at him thinking, are you freaking nuts? Like, what's wrong with you? This is what you want for your whole life? I mean, there's
Hmm.
more to life than this. And I don't know, this is how it was. So
Yeah.
that's my mindset, and always has been since day one. Like, I've tried different businesses. It is what it is, but I've made some money now. I have to protect it. I don't deem it as my money. It's just generational wealth. I'll pass it on, but I don't want to just give it to them. Um, I don't want a situation that when I die is just split up and is gone, because that doesn't mean nothing to me.
Yeah.
Um, I'd rather have it like in a trust or something so they can draw from it if they need it, but
Yeah.
it's still
And
going
be
to
careful of the
gain.
taxes.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So
But yeah, so yeah, my main focus right now is the book, and I would say I'm a bit lazy, I guess you could say, and
I
yeah,
don't think laziness exists, to be honest with you.
well,
Laziness does not exist. The
just
only time
procrastination.
laziness exists is because when there's a lack of a vision, when there's a lack of something, when you have something that you're excited about, you're eager to do it and you get to do it and you're not going to be late, right?
Yeah.
If I had a date with Jennifer Aniston, I'm not going to be lazy getting ready.
Do
Okay,
you know her?
trust me. No, I don't,
Can you
but I
call her
would
for
like to
me?
know. Yeah, can you call her for me?
I'm just
Um,
saying.
she's just doing a movie in Vancouver, I think. She's
Oh, is she?
filming. Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is when you have something that you're really excited about, there's no laziness.
Yeah.
So the reason why most people have laziness is because they don't have something spectacular to look forward to or to work towards, right? And that's the problem. So create something and the laziness evaporates.
I think
Okay.
I think one of the things that we discussed as well was delegating,
Yeah,
because
delegate
I
everything. Yes.
yeah, because I don't delegate anything. I choose to. I think I'm being lazy if I don't do everything myself. I mean, that's the wrong way to do it. But yeah, I don't know what to say. That's part of it as well. Like, I have to delegate more, which would be
Yeah.
much better.
But I think you need that vision first. And trust me when I say, running a well-designed business is a freaking adrenaline rush. It really is. So much so that you can't sleep, you can't wait to get to work. Until you have that, you're not going to really appreciate. And the love of my life had a hard time understanding that because she's always gone after the big paychecks and
Yeah.
never the fulfillment, right? And never the legacy. So I think, you know, I don't think I would want to live without owning and running businesses. To me, that's the biggest gift that I can give back to the world and the biggest fulfillment I can have in my life. It gives me a lot of joy. And I work for free. I mean, I'm on TikTok helping people because I love doing that. I love talking about business, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think you need something like that to get you out of bed, excited out of bed and say, I got to do this. I want to do this. I want to do that, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
So think about starting a business. That's what I would suggest. Or think about investing in businesses or flipping businesses. You were talking about real estate, but flipping businesses is a hell of a lot more profitable.
Yeah, they say that real estate produces millionaires, but flipping businesses produces
Produce
billionaires.
billionaires, exactly, exactly. Yeah. So if you want generational wealth, there's the vehicle.
Yeah,
And you'd be surprised how many businesses are going to be shut down this year. Just shut down after 20 or 40 years, they're going to shut them down. They're going to light a match to them, which is, absolutely silly.
and how so? Meaning, and why would they be shut down?
Well, okay, an example that I've used in some of my TikTok videos, we have been talking to this particular gentleman for at least 5 or 10 years. I forget how long. And he kept saying, yeah, no, we've got a good strategy. My son's going to take over the business. He's just going to start working in the business. And each time we talk, oh, yeah, my son wants to work in the business and eventually he's going to take over the business. All of a sudden, after 5 or 7 years, oh, my son is not going to, he has no interest in my business and I'm just going to shut it down. After
Yeah.
40 years, I'm just going to shut it down. I said, oh, no, don't do that. Let me help you. Right. So we worked at redesigning the business, and the first offer we got him was $10 million. $10 million, because 40 years has a lot of credibility, has a lot of clients, there's a lot of loyalty, there's a lot of trust foundation there, right? Especially when you take the business owner out of the middle and you create an autopilot type business. And then we used the first offer. That was kind of a shaky first offer, and we used that to create a second offer, and the second offer was just over $12 million. So I mean, he was happy with shutting it down for $0, right?
I I've seen that. That I've 100% seen that, because that real estate company that I was talking organization I was talking about, REAG, with Ozzie Jurek, he's in his 80s now, I think, and his son, who was primed to take over, went in a different direction.
Right.
So
Because they
everything that
usually
he,
see how hard dad's working and say, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to buy a
well,
gold-plated jail cell.
I guess like his, I don't know what his, I couldn't tell you, but he's worth multi-million dollars. But the organization itself, I have no idea. But he ended up selling it to a real estate agent, I guess it was. But I tell you, it's so depressing when you see that, when you bring along your son to take over the business, and all of a sudden he goes in a different direction. It's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
my goodness.
Which really the lesson is, your business is not designed correctly, because if your son's not willing to take over your own business, it's really, if he won't do it, why should you, be running it? So design it properly is, I think, is
Yeah.
the lesson. So,
Mm.
yeah.
So
But
what's going forward for Leo?
what's going forward? We are in the process of designing 5 new businesses.
Oh yeah, good.
One is
Painting.
painting, bookkeeping, because I've
Bookkeeping.
analyzed thousands of companies, and the bookkeeping, the accounting is just horrendous. It really
Yeah,
is. Even though the bookkeeper understands it, and the bookkeeper generally, well, do you understand these? Yeah, I understand these numbers, but they don't understand the implications of these numbers, right?
right.
And I think there's miscommunication there. And, business owners don't want to look stupid in front of their accountants. So of course they say, yeah, I understand what, minus 20 means. Um, but they don't understand the repercussions of that. The
Right.
bookkeepers really have to say, if you continue on this trend, in 3.5 months, you will be bankrupt. Or if you continue on this trend, in 2 years, you will have $2 million. They need to show projections of the current trends, and
Right.
nobody does that. And, it's
They
so
just do the
simple.
bookkeeping. Yeah,
Yeah.
don't say anything.
Yeah. Here are
Yeah,
your numbers, enjoy your
that's right.
numbers.
Yeah.
What does that mean to the average business owner who is working with their hands and doesn't understand numbers, right? So
Right.
that's what
Well,
we're working on.
I have a corporation. But my real estate was in a corporation. But really, it hasn't done nothing for 2 years, because I don't know, it just hasn't. So, um, but my accountant's very expensive, so I may have to find a different accountant because he's way too expensive.
Yeah, yeah, and they provide very low value. You know, I want to work with tax strategies. I want to minimize taxes. You know, I want to do tax planning, and nobody does planning. Everybody's reactive, and that's kind of a shame. And sorry, I have a hard stop. I need to be on the Zoom call in 3 minutes.
So,
And I
okay, Leo, no, I appreciate your
but
time.
while I have you, since you're so interested in real estate, go on to my YouTube channel, Leo George William Smith, copy and paste my name to YouTube. Once you get to my channel, search conceptual real estate investing, because I talk about 3 different strategies for investing in real estate. Let me know what your thoughts are. Leave some comments.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I don't, locally here in BC, there isn't any. There's really not much of a market right now.
Yeah,
So, and plus it's a longer term view, and I don't know,
yeah.
there
But
might be other avenues.
I mean, how else can you take, let's say, $50,000 and turn it into 2 million, 2 or 3 million over the next 2 or 3 years, right?
Yeah.
You can't consistently do that in real estate. First of all, you need a lot more money, right? But 50,000 in a business can produce a much better return. And we always have clients looking for funding. I mean, in our CEO club, they're generally looking for 300 million or 25 million or so. But the smaller company that wants to get trucks and equipment and do some marketing to get to the next level, usually they'll give you an equity stake for a lot less. So think about that.
Yeah. Okay, Leo, I appreciate your time.
Pleasure
Take care of
talking to you. Enjoyed
take
life
care
in
of yourself.
Vancouver. We'll talk soon. All right,
Bye.
take care.